Dr. Mindy here. We are live again from my office, and I wanted to answer a question that August had. This is one of the teens that we're working with, and what the question was, and I think it's a really good, important thing for all of us to think about, is when you're sitting, how should you be sitting? Because posture is so important, not just for your overall health, but posture is so important for the function of your brain. How should you be sitting so that you can maximize brain power? And when you're sitting in the classroom, I know that's it's very difficult because it's those of you that are students, you're sitting there all day long, over and over and over again, and it's just nonstop information. Or if you're sitting at your computer at your desk, it's just nonstop information into your brain. So there are some very specific things that you can do so that you maximize your brain capacity. So the first one is, how are you sitting? So most people, and you can kind of come to the side, most people when they sit, they actually, and especially teens are like this, they sit like this, where they kind of slouch down. Okay, so what you're doing when you're slouching is you're taking your spine should have nice curves like this, and I've talked about this before, and you're pulling on that spinal cord, and you're literally slowing down the cerebral spinal flow to your brain. So you will not hear the information as well over time. It's going to wear you down. So like this is a chair that I use for my nutritional consults, and so I actually had my team put a pillow in it so that I could sit upright when I'm chatting with people. So get out of the slouch, and just all you gotta do is bring your hips back to the edge of the chair and sit yourself upright so that you're not putting that pressure on the lower back, you're not pulling on the spinal cord. Okay, so that's step number one. Step number two is you want to be as close to your desk as possible. So if one of the questions was about, what about my computer? Well, when we're on the computer, you can see the problem with the laptop is that your head gets really flexed forward. So instead of having a nice curve like this, what's happening is on a laptop, to look at the screen, your head gets flexed forward like this. So I'm not a fan of laptops being there over and over again because you'll do a lot of this kind of thing. So if you have a big monitor, that would be great. Could you elevate it on some books? That's a good idea. I have in my house, I have a high table in my kitchen that I actually will stand on and work standing, which is really great. Standing desks are awesome. But just be aware, you want to be close to the table, and you want, when you're working, you don't want your arms stretched out this kind of thing. You're going to put a lot of strain on the nerves in your lower neck. If you're doing this kind of thing, a lot of pressure on that low back. It may be comfortable for a moment, but then over time, again, you're shutting down cerebral spinal fluid to the brain. Your brain's not going to work as well. So you want to be back with your hands as close to the keyboard as possible. You want to make sure that your wrists are not in extension, otherwise you're going to be getting a lot of carpal tunnel type things. And if you're just sitting there listening, again, sitting upright is absolutely the best way to be. You want to be in this upright position, and you will take information in better. The more slouched, the more curled forward your shoulders are, the harder it will be. So now a couple tricks that I use, because I do a lot of work at my computer, especially my laptop, is I just stand up periodically. You should not be standing more than an hour at a time. So I'll stand up and I'll do things like this, where I bring both my shoulders back and I just start to open up my chest. I was just doing some work with my staff where I was sitting at the desk a lot, and so I just periodically, I'll just twist my arms to open up my chest this way, and then you just kind of go to the other side and you open yourself up. If you have a door frame, can you stand in the door frame and stretch these pec muscles? What will happen if you're doing a lot of work at the computer is you'll start to shorten your pec muscles, and then you'll permanently have that curled shoulder posture. So, okay, so those are kind of my 3 to 4 things. Sit all the way back in your chair. Move your chair as close to the desk as possible. Don't be on your laptop all the time. Get that, or if you are on a laptop, start to stand. Raise the console or the monitor up a little bit. And then take breaks and stretch and open up your chest, and really be aware that these muscles, you're training them to shorten the longer you're at the desk. Okay, August, I hope that helps. If everybody else loved it, if it was good, helpful information, just put helpful. It lets me know what you all are resonating with. And if you really like it, share it out. Let's get this message out to the world. There is no better thing in life than loving the body that you are living in. And so many people are really in discomfort, or they really hate their bodies. And it pains me because there's so many simple things you can do. And this is one of those simple things. Have an awesome day.